All right, I have a 2.5 inch lift on this old girl right here. And as you can see, the sway bar is pointing downwards. And that's actually a bad thing, because if you flex hard enough, this wheel will droop and this will actually bend out and this whole piece will come out and it'll mess up your steering. It'll jam a bunch of stuff up. Plus it ruins articulation. And I do have disconnects that I made for the bottom of this. I'll leave the video right here, and I'll also put it in the description below. Go back and watch that video. I tell you how to make quick connects for down here. But today I'm going to show you guys how to make a longer sway bar link. It's super easy. A lot of people say, why don't you make adjustable ones? I don't want the threads to strip out or anything like that. So I'm doing an extended sway bar link, and I'm going to make them longer. So what I'm going to do is actually reuse this piece, because you can buy the bushings for this, and I'm doing away with this ball joint design right here, and I'm going to be putting a Heim joint right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take this off, and I'm going to show you the parts list that I got to make these. I can make 2 of these for the front for $50. You can't beat that for the parts that I've got, and it'll actually put the sway bar back up here where it needs to be. A lot of people go a little bit higher. You can watch tons of videos, but on this particular Jeep, I'm going to just put it level. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can articulate this thing to see how far it goes and all that good stuff, but I'm just going to put it level and roll with it. So today, I'm going to show you how to make longer sway bar links with Heim joints. As you can see, they're a lot longer and they only cost $50. So pretty much all you're going to need is a welder and a grinder and some welding skills and $50. You could probably do it a lot cheaper, but I bought a little bit better products when it comes to the Heim joints and stuff like that. But $50 and a grinder and a welder, and it took me about an hour and a half, and you have extended sway bar links, and it's pretty easy. So let's go ahead and get in the video and I'll show you guys how I did it. Here's the parts you're going to need. You're going to need 4 7/16 bolts and 4 nuts, 4 washers. You're going to need 1/2 inch solid round rod, and you're going to need a Heim joint of your choice. I got a 3/4 with a 5/8 hole, and you're going to need some kind of spacer. I wanted to go cheap as possible. You can get these spacers about $4, but I went ahead and tack welded a nut together. You'll see what it looks like when it's done and why we need it. And as you can see, you get the idea. I'm cutting the bottom of this off and reusing it because you can get the bushings for it. And as you can see how much more I've extended it to get it to where it needs to be. So that's basically the parts list. You're going to be cutting this off also. So you're going to cut that off so you can weld it on to the rod. So basically we got this bushing to go in this hole so we can put the 7/16 bolt through there and a washer. So you're pretty much getting the idea is cut this off flush. So you have a regular Heim joint. And then we're going to cut the stock bushing off and basically you're going to be left with this welded down here and this heim joint up here. So basically, this is what you're going to be left with. So I used my quick disconnect. You can watch a video on that. Link is in the description. Got my spacer up here and my heim joint tightened up. So basically that's it. It doesn't look too bad. Measurement bolt hole to bolt hole is actually 1 foot 12 inches. So if you wanted to know that measurement for a 2.5 inch lift for a Wrangler JK, that is the measurement. Now, if you're going to be doing a Jeep XJ, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a TJ Wrangler, whatever Jeep you have, just put the sway bar straight and do your measurements with your bushings on either side, and then weld it together or thread it, however you're going to do it, and that way you have a perfect measurement. That's why a lot of people like adjustable stuff, because you can adjust it the way you want. I just did a measurement from bolt hole to bolt hole without anything there with the sway bar level, and I got 1 foot. So I made the whole part 1 foot from the heim joint to the bottom of the bushing. I've already tested the droop. It drops and goes that way, so it don't hit the coil spring at all. So it clears that just fine. And the heim joint allows it to move around too, to give it better flex and all that good stuff. So this thing drives amazing. Going around turns, hitting bumps on the freeway, articulation, it all works good. By putting that sway bar level or a little bit higher, it helps with, keeping the sway bar from flipping around and hitting your steering. And it also makes it ride better and handle way better. For a minute, I almost forgot I was in a Jeep. I got to correct the back also, but by just doing the front makes it 10 times better. So that's basically it. $50 and you have some extended sway bar links. I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Stay dirty, my friends.